Well, hello everyone. It's Angela with Trove Tarot, also known here on YouTube as Mystic Moon. Welcome to my second channel and welcome to your weekly forecast. But before we get started, we're going to actually do the announcements of the winners of my Halloween Challenge giveaway for week 3 right now. And the reason why is because I know that I did say that I was going to do 4 weeks of giveaways. Unfortunately, you guys, just because of my schedule, I'm not going to be able to do it. So this is pretty much the end of the giveaways. So I've given away 3 decks and 3 readings. I think that that's pretty good, right? And so moving forward, I will do future giveaways. So definitely stay tuned. But I want to say thank you to everyone that participated in this giveaway. It was a lot of fun to do. So anyways, you guys, without further ado, we're just going to go ahead and go into the announcements and then we'll go into the weekly forecast. But before we do that, I just want to say if you guys are interested in watching what we do during this week with our Halloween setup and just all these things that we're going to do, I would highly recommend going to my Home Sweet Halloween channel. I have a TikTok as well as an Instagram. I don't seem to post a lot on Instagram, more on TikTok, but I am hoping to start an actual Home Sweet Halloween YouTube channel, so that's in the works. So if you guys want to see any of that kind of stuff, I will put the links down below. So anyways, you guys, let's go ahead and get started with those winners. So we're going to start off with the 15-minute free reading first. So quite a few of you guys signed up for the free readings. So let's go ahead and see who the lucky person is this week for the winner of the 15-minute reading. All right, so I'm just going to let one fall through. There we go. This is the lucky winner for the 15-minute reading. Who is it? Okay, so it is going to be Donna Schraft from, I think, Virginia. I think that's Virginia. Yeah, I think it is. Okay. I'm like, do I have my state abbreviations right? So Donna Schraft from Virginia. Congratulations on winning the 15-minute reading with me. So be sure to email me at mysticmoonoracles@gmail.com so I can go ahead and get you set up for your free reading. So you guys, let's go ahead and go into for the free deck. So not as many of you entered for the free deck, but hey, that makes it a little bit maybe a better shot at winning since there's so many or so little entries for that. So let's see who's the lucky person for the deck this week. Who's it gonna be? It's gonna be this person right here. It's going to be Adriana Delgado in Indiana. So congratulations, Adriana Delgado in Indiana, for winning the free deck. Again, email me and we'll get you set up so I can get your address and you can let me know what deck that you would like to, me to send you. So anyways, you guys, thank you so much for participating in that. And let's go ahead and get started now with the reading. All the decks will be listed down below in the order that I use them. All right, you guys. So this is also a new moon in Scorpio. And technically that starts tomorrow. And then we also have a solar eclipse. We do have a lunar eclipse that's going to be following that. So technically it's just, solar, lunar, eclipse energy here, right here. So it's very intense. If you guys are feeling some major shifts or a lot of energies and things coming to a head, that could be the reason why, because usually with eclipses, it's like we're ready to kind of create that transformation. And with it being connected to that new moon in Scorpio, Scorpio is about death and transformation. And it doesn't need to be a negative thing. It can be a very liberating thing to finally come full circle with an understanding about something, or you feel good to just let go because you felt like you've learned a lesson when it comes to something. So we don't need to be scared of this energy. So let's go ahead and just take a look and see what is the overall energy this week because of that new moon in Scorpio and because of the eclipses. Let's see what's going on here. What energy wants to come through during this new moon in Scorpio? What do we need to know? Okay, we have the sun's energy, which you guys is, I feel, connected to the solar eclipse, which is the first eclipse here. And I believe on November 4th, it's going to be the lunar. So it's going to be, shifting the energies. But it says being. So the sun, it's kind of like your sun sign. Okay, this is the essence of you. This is the energy. This is your self-awareness, your life force, your spirit. This is also your masculinity. This is talking about perhaps your ego, your individuality, your expression of who you are, being self-sufficient, etc. So to me, this is a very independent energy. This is kind of like knowing who we are, stepping into our power this week, and really feeling a shift because we're doing that. We're expressing who we truly are and what we truly want. We're stepping into more of our masculine side, which gets things done, which handles business, which speaks their truth. They have a lot more confidence to basically speak truth. So some of you guys have been kind of feeling a little scared or frightened or maybe being a little passive. I feel like that energy is being eclipsed out with this solar eclipse, and we're able to step more into that sun's confident, vibrant energy. And if some of you guys have been feeling kind of sad or feeling depressed, I do feel like this eclipse energy is going to come in and kind of wipe out a lot of that gray, just matter or that crap that's just been kind of causing you guys to feel either just low energy, low vibe, or just sad. So that's a beautiful message. What else? Oh my gosh, we have Venus energy, love. So Venus energy is about beauty, harmony, romance, charm, receiving. So to me, this is like masculine, feminine energy. So it's going to be done, I feel, in a very loving way. It's not going to be that kind of masculine energy where it's just like cutthroat, cut dry, black and white. No, we're going to infuse love into the situation. We're going to speak lovingly. We're going to speak our truth lovingly, or we're going to cut something out perhaps lovingly, or we're going to stand in our power lovingly. And it's going to be because that's what we want. We want to create more beauty. We want to create more peace in our lives. We want to create more harmony. Maybe some of us are looking for love. Maybe some of you guys are looking to let go of an old situation that's not really serving. And so you're doing it out of the energy of self-care and self-love for yourself. Like you come to this realization that you love yourself too much to suffer any longer. You love yourself too much to put your life on hold. You love yourself too much to play small or to just accept crumbs, from other people. So this could be anything: romance, family members, friends, coworkers, work situations, Maybe some of you guys, instead of just surviving, are going to go towards doing something that you actually love instead. Maybe there won't be as much money, but the payoff is going to be you're going to just feel that much more happier in your life. So there's a shift coming here, big time. And then we have the sextile opportunity. So there's a new opportunity that's coming with this new moon. So whatever is going to fall away for some of you guys, and it doesn't mean all of you guys are going to let go of something or you're going to experience loss, but this could just be like you're ready to step into your power. And because you're ready to step into your power, you're ready to make things happen. You're ready to take action on those opportunities that have been in front of you for quite some time. If some of you guys have been scared to take your talents to the next level, to put your talents out there, to put your services out there, I'm getting here that this new moon in Scorpio is allowing you, and this eclipse allowing you to eclipse out this kind of small way of feeling or thinking about yourself, and you're stepping into your power here. And it's giving you a new opportunity to perhaps come together and collaborate with people, or maybe even to connect yourself with people that are going to assist you with your talents, or taking your talents to the next level, or giving you those opportunities to be heard or exposed in some way when it comes to your talent or what you do for a living. So that's amazing, you guys. But it's talking about, this is all about, it says collaborate, assists, explains, provides opportunity, possibilities for opening new doors of opportunity. That sounds great. So this new moon is bringing in a new opportunity to do something that you absolutely love, and for you to finally believe in yourself that you can do this new thing, or that you can take this step, or you can let that thing go that you've been struggling with for so long. So we're getting like this like shot of confidence, the shot of power. And it's working for us, and it's helping us to bring us together with things that are truly in harmony with us. So that sounds amazing to me. I'll take that all day long. So anyways, you guys, with that, let's go ahead and see if there's any kind of like healing that spirit is wanting to bring forth right now for us to take a look at. Maybe anything that's keeping us small. Is there any kind of shadow or energy here? Because the death energy here with Scorpio can be a lot of maybe even like shadow. Some of our shadows and our fears. So what's coming up in that department during this new moon this week? We have revenge. So revenge and bitterness for the things that have gone wrong in our lives, or the people that have done us dirty and done us wrong. It's a very human response to things. It's only human to feel upset and want to, in a way, seek revenge on those that have hurt you. It's only normal for us to want justice in situations. I can think of plenty of times in my life that I don't still to this day have justice for the things that have been done wrong to me. And so it's one of those things where you either let it consume you or you learn to work with that energy. You learn to channel it in different ways. You learn to kind of dance with this energy and make it work for you. You use it in a constructive way. So shadow can be used in a constructive way. Light can be used in a constructive way. I always come from that belief that it's really good to be balanced in both that dark and light energy. So that way, when things come at you, you're not completely on that yo-yo. If you're super high, you're going to have a super low, or if you're super low, you're going to have a super high. Just kind of residing somewhere in the middle, having an even-mindedness, to me, is true peace here on earth. But it's difficult to achieve that. It's difficult to be balanced, that energy, because we get excited about things. So we meet someone new and, we go off the deep end and we want to make this person, it's like a drug in a way. We want to make this person like, everything. We feel so good when we're around this individual, but sometimes we end up losing ourselves. And then we're upset when people disappoint us or people change their minds. And we might feel slighted. We might feel bitter. We might feel like, wait a second, this is what I wanted. And then somebody doesn't want the same thing. So it creates these feelings of revenge and bitterness. But there are some things in the world that just happen to you. You're a good person. You don't deserve it. And things happen and you're just like, I'm sorry, it doesn't make any sense. You look at the universe or God or however you guys connect to spirit, and you say, it's not fair. Why is there not justice in this situation? How long can this person continue to be a crappy person and get away with it? Well, in my case, with someone that I'm thinking about, it in a way, and it's really hard for me not to believe this, I believe that this person will continue to be this way for the rest of their lives, and there will never be any justice, And I can sit in that energy and be pissed off about it all day long, and, maybe construct things in my mind of how I wish this person would get their karma, but they just never seem to. But again, all of this energy is just our own at this point. It's not affecting the other person. It really isn't. It's just affecting us. So I feel like that is what that energy and that reminder is how long do we want to stay in that kind of energy where it's now affecting our lives in a negative way, and it's causing us to feel stuck. It's causing us to feel unhappy. Because we have roots. That revenge, that bitterness will continue to grow. It will continue to keep you from not living your life. At some point, someone is not worth that much effort and time of your energy. They're just not worth it. And I think that that's kind of, in a way, the best revenge of all is just moving on with your life and forgetting all about that person or that thing and just being happy despite their crap or whatever it is that they're doing. That's like the best revenge of all. It's just pretend like that individual just has zero effect on you. And even if you feel like they still do, it's just trying that on for size until it's so. And I think I go through phases with this particular person that I'm thinking of, and they're still very much connected to us legally. And until that's over, and I don't know that it will ever be over, because when you have ties to people through blood or things like that, it's very difficult to obviously never have anything to do with that person ever again. But at least legally, I know at some point, hopefully by next year, that will be over. But, we'll see. We'll see. So anyways, my point is I can sit here and dwell on it and piss and moan about it. But I'm still going to wake up tomorrow and I'm going to still try to live my best life, despite whatever this person is doing or not doing or whatever. Okay, See, when I do these readings, you guys, because I don't do my own readings, just so you guys know, very rarely, and I'm talking like maybe once a year, if like I'm working with a particular deity or something like that, I may like do a reading to connect. I did something a few months back with Goddess Hecate, and that was really cool. And I might do something like on actual Halloween for myself, but it's just rare. So these readings that I do for you guys, there are messages that come up for me too. So when I see this, what I'm talking about says recognize divine timing. Well, guess what, universe? The divine timing I don't feel is just or fit for this situation or purpose, or person. But the universe is basically saying you got to recognize that universal time is not human time, or it's not your ego's time or what you see fit. It's just not. There's a bigger plan in motion. There's a bigger reasoning, perhaps, for certain things taking place the way that they are. So when we start to recognize that, rather than trying to be the judge, the judge of what someone deserves and how they deserve it and what should happen, rather than dwelling in that energy and marinating in that, it's just better to take those swords instead of cutting yourself, and take those swords and just try to cut yourself away from thinking about this individual or talking about this individual or complaining about this individual, right? Just try your best. And it doesn't mean you can just pretend it's not there and click it out. It takes time, but it also takes practice too. So recognize that whatever situation in your life is not just, whatever situation is just causing you to feel bitterness, recognize that in divine timing, that something will conclude, something will shift and change here. Something is bound to change. That's it. And sometimes that's all you get. I was talking to a friend of mine who's been in recovery AA for many, many years, and it's her life, and it's what helps her just every single day with her faith and just everything. It's very good and structured for her. And I remember on her 60 days, I went to her AA meeting with her so she could get the her chip for her 60 days. And we were sitting there and we're talking, and I think so many of us think that when we do something good, or whether we're working on ourselves or we do a good deed or something, that naturally there's going to be some sort of reward. It's not why we do it, but I think it's only human for us to feel like, something good's going to come from this. But what if the good that we think is going to come from it doesn't really come in the form that we were thinking? And so we were talking about what's the good of, like, what am I getting from this? What is she getting from this thing of staying sober? And it just was clear as day. Sobriety. That's it. That's all you're getting from this is sobriety. And if that's not good enough, then you got a problem. You know what I mean? And so, not that she was struggling with this, but we were just talking about how you naturally think that because you get your life together and you make good choices, that you're a good person, that you're going to be rewarded in life. And sometimes it's just very plain what's going on. As in, sometimes the payoff is just sobriety. You know what I mean? Like, that stinks, but it's the one thing that's saving her freaking life. So it is enough, but it just doesn't sound great, right? It sucks. It sounds sucky. So, divine timing. Wow, that's great. It's really not. It doesn't make me feel like, oh, thank you. Thank you so much. This is wonderful. Thank you, Spirit. But I have to recognize that things are on the universe's time. Things are on God's time. It's not on my time. So I have to just learn to disconnect and walk away from that. So let's see what else we are eclipsing out, because if some of you guys aren't really suffering with maybe injustice or feeling bitter about a situation or a person, that seems like it's not fair, it's not right what's going on, you didn't deserve what happened. Let's just see if there's some additional messages here. The Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands is connected to the sign of Sagittarius. The Knight of Wands is also about movement, moving through things very quickly. It's a very spontaneous, quick energy. It's also connected to like travel and expansion. And it's connected to our belief system as well, like spirituality and just, our values. I feel like the reason that this is coming up is because it is telling us here that it is time to expand. It's time to expand. It's time to maybe shift gears, maybe open yourself up or expand your horizons to maybe move or to take a new position or to open your friend circle up a little bit wider, your social circle, maybe travel to some places that you've been wanting to go. It's kind of like that energy of life is too short. Make sure you make the best of it. So if you kind of feel like you're running out of time, you aren't necessarily really, but you're only going to be the age that you're at. I mean, I think about it so many times, like 20 years ago, there's certain things I wish I would have done. And I'm not saying I couldn't do those things now, but I don't have as much energy. And, I'm older, my body gets a lot more tired and things like that. So the things that we wish that we would have done, you're always going to be in that wishful state. Well, I'll do it later. Do it now. Do it today. Whatever it is that you guys want to do, start making plans to do those things now, right? Do those things now, because sometimes it will, in a way, be too late. The Six of Hazards, which is the Six of Pentacles. So the Six of Pentacles is equal give and take. It's about being in situations where we're being, provided or nourished. It's also about assistance. If you need some sort of assistance, ask for it. People can't read our minds. Sometimes we get upset because, let's just say we're in a work position where we have all of these stresses and all these responsibilities, but yet we're not asking for any help. We're not delegating tasks. But then we're bitter and we're upset deep down inside. Well, Spirit's saying here, it's time for you to really expand your thinking and awareness and really see that maybe that attitude is something that needs to shift and change. Maybe we need to recognize that if we don't ask for help, we're not going to receive it. So it is time for us to ask for assistance if we need it, or move towards situations where it's equal. Because sometimes we're in situations where the other person ain't budging and we just have to accept it. And do we really? No, we don't have to accept anything that we don't really want to accept. So it is about being more aware of our own energy and what we're doing with our lives and how we're operating. And now we have the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups is not Scorpio, it's Cancer's energy. So Cancerian energy. Cancer is about nourishment, right? Cancer is about taking care of the self. It is also about, your security and how you feel inside. So do we feel good about what we do, or do we feel good about where we're at in our lives? Are we being nourished emotionally? So there's a question here. Now, if we're looking at the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Wands as two people basically interacting together, the Queen of Cups is a lot deeper, and she's more sensitive, and she's more about nourishing, like nourishing other people and taking care of other people and making sure. And she's very sensitive to their needs, making sure they're okay. The Knight of Wands, a little bit more selfish, a little bit more like, whatever's going to serve me is what I'm all about. And if it doesn't serve me, I'm out the door. So some of you guys are in a situation where you're not on the same page as someone, whether this is a friend, lover, or work situation. It's almost like, that something is off with the way that how something is making you feel. So if you're just being thrown crumbs, or someone's kind of in and out of your life, or it's just kind of like you're just attracted to the excitement of this person, which can be that Knight of Wands person, it's time for you to ask yourself, is this really nourishing you? Is this really serving you? Is this really what you're looking for? Is this really what you want? So the Six of Pentacles is asking us, is this equal? Is this balanced? So if you're feeling slighted or you're feeling pissed off, we have to realize that maybe we're not dealing with someone who's ready. Maybe we need to let this person go. Maybe we need to move on. Maybe we need to recognize that maybe in time this person could grow, but in the meantime, we got to move towards other things. We got to open ourselves up to something different, perhaps. And if this is not about a relationship, like a romantic relationship, this could just be even about a job. Are we even happy doing what we're doing? Do we want to get out? Do we want to travel? Do we want to have more freedom? Because if you do, then that's something that you have to consider. If you're, punching a time clock and you're behind a desk on a phone for 8 hours a day, are you truly, truly nourished? Are you truly happy? Is this really what you want to do? It might be paying the bills, but at some point, are we just going to be in survival mode? Or are we going to be in like living, thriving mode? So there's some choices I feel that are coming up right now in this eclipse and new moon that's telling us that something has to change in the way that we are feeding ourselves. Are we getting our needs met? It's time to take a look at that. And if you're feeling upset about something, it's time to kind of snack on something different, something that's going to uplift you, something that's going to make you feel just not so bitter, right? Like, start taking bites out of life that are sweeter than these bitter energies. And sometimes we can continuously bite into things that are bitter. And why are we doing this? Well, some of us do it it's a sabotaging behavior. It's a chronic behavior. It's a behavior that maybe we've learned long ago because we don't feel like we deserve anything good. So we just keep biting into crap. So there's this expansion and awareness that's coming through with that Sagittarius energy that's helping us to kind of shift out of that like blaming others for how things end up. And it's not like we're going to blame ourselves, but we do need to take some personal inventory. We need to take accountability for what's continuously showing up and the people that we keep giving our hearts to. At some point, it can't be everybody else. At some point, we do have to kind of figure out, why does this keep happening to me? And I do want to say once again, sometimes shitty things, crappy things happen to good people, and you don't deserve it. So that's not a blanket statement for everything in life, because that's just horseshit. But there are some things where we could have done better. We could have made better choices. We knew better going into a situation. You meet somebody, they say, I'm not into commitment. I don't want kids. I don't want family. I don't want marriage. And you want these things, and you get involved with them anyways. I'm sorry. At some point, we've got to take personal responsibility that we shouldn't have got involved with that person in the first place, hoping that they would change. Or they were just so delightful, I just had to take a bite. Well, now it's like come time, now your heart's involved. Your heart's involved in this situation. You've given your heart to the wrong person, a person that basically stated that they were not going to be able to be what you were looking for, or that they were unavailable. So it's not about blame. It is about taking accountability, though. But there are some things in life, you guys, that just aren't fair. And at some point, we do have to find a way to just survive. We've got to find a way to just get up every day and just move forward anyways. It's so hard to do. It's really hard to do, but we've got to do it. We got to keep moving forward. We got to keep putting one foot in front of the other. We got to still get up and do what we need to do. So the evil people, the demons of this world, the narcissists, the psychopaths, the sociopaths, whatever you guys have been dealing with here, are just rotten people, rotten to the core, bad seed people. Recognize that there will come a time at some point that justice will be served. And it may not be on your watch, and it may not be in the way that you see fit, and it may not be exactly how you thought it would, but the universe does have a way of recognizing what needs to be balanced, and that's what karma is all about. Karma is all about our actions, and the actions that we take, whether they're positive or negative, have a way of balancing themselves out. So I hope that message makes sense. And I hope that you guys can resonate with something that came through there. So anyways, now let's go ahead and go into some lessons here. Okay, what are some lessons that we can learn through this new moon in Scorpio eclipse energy? What are some lessons that are coming through for us? No matter what you have done, no matter how many mistakes you have made, Kali is here for you always. Yours is the safety and sanctuary of her divine love. She is your soft place to fall and your kindest and most enthusiastic advocate. Let her shift your experience from endless tasks and even greater expectations into sweet relief and comforting connection. Beautiful. So this right here is basically saying, no matter how many mistakes that you've made, this is like a safe space, a soft space. Like, be gentle to yourself. Be gentle to yourself. Forgive yourself also for things that you've done. Maybe you did certain things because you didn't have the proper tools to do it any differently. I mean, there's shitty things that I've done to people where I just look back and I'm just like, wow, I wish that I wouldn't have said that. I wish that I could have done things differently. But at the time, I made the decision. Out of whatever reason, I made the decision to do it. And just like people make the decisions to hurt you or to slight you or do something ridiculous, same thing. But we all have the free choice of whether or not we're going to do these things again, or if we're going to let people continuously do these things to us again, or if we're going to forgive them and let them back in, right? But it's all about realizing that you're only human. And that's a lesson here that's coming through. We also have, hold within Kali's protection, your heart radiates peace. Certainty and beauty. Her grace melts frustration into inspiration, fatigue into replenishment, and overactivity into effortless attraction. So it says, Kamala is the golden pathway of divine protection and peaceful contentment. She empowers your heart to receive with the same generosity, openness, and grace that you express when you give. You are swiftly approaching sacred fruition. So I feel like what this is basically saying here is that we're learning to dance with the energy. We're transmuting pain we're making it work for us. Remember, I was talking about that in the very beginning of the reading. We're learning to take this bitter energy and we're doing something constructive with this energy. And that's what the lesson is right there. We're not wasting this energy. This energy is here and it's not really going anywhere, because I get this a lot. I have this feeling and it's always with me. Well, if that's the case, it's with you for a reason. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to create something with this? Are you going to do something with this? Are you going to inspire others? Surprise yourself with what you can create with that energy? Channel it in some way, express it in some way? What are you going to do with this energy? Or are you just going to complain that it's there and be upset and pissed off that it's there? Try to figure out what you can do with this, how you can make it work for you, how you can turn it into art, something beautiful, something inspirational, right? And now we may yearn for circumstances to unfold according to our personal preferences, yet to trust in divine timing. I'm sorry, I gotta laugh. Alleviates stress and fosters a more peaceful relationship with the universe. Guys, this is ridiculous, because I just was saying this earlier with that whole divine timing thing. And that's what it was. It was very much about having a peaceful relationship with the universe and just accepting that things are going to happen in divine timing. Even the right thing cannot attain fruition at the wrong time. A negative cycle is due to end, and a new dawn shall arise. So I feel like one of our lessons here is just kind of accepting that the universe is working in perfect divine order, and we just have to trust in that. Trust in spirit, trust in our higher power, that things are going to be taken care of accordingly. So why waste your time being in that bitter revenge energy? That's what we're being told to let go and kind of transmute and use this instead to our advantage. Do something more constructive with this energy. So those are the lessons that are coming through. Love that. All right, you guys, so let's go ahead and see how we're going to empower ourselves with this new moon's energy. What are we inviting in? What are we creating? We have malachite. I recognize repetitive patterns and I choose love, compassion, and kindness. So we have that green energy here. So that could be that heart chakra energy. It says, create healthy patterns in relationships. Connect with the sweetness of life. Remember that bitter and sweet? Maintain heart-centered awareness. Get to the heart of the matter. So this is also a really good reminder that something that we're holding within is being reflected in the outer world. Now, this could be an expectation that we have. We love someone. We have a lot of expectation. We want the relationship or the situation to go accordingly. And sometimes it doesn't happen that way. Why? Because you're dealing with another human being. You're dealing with another human being that has an ego, that has traumas, that has feelings, that can shift from one day to the next, and somebody who also has free will. So people are always going to disappoint you. People are not always going to do what you want them to do, and vice versa. The same goes for you. I guarantee you've disappointed people in your life and you haven't done what they've wanted you to do, and you've had the free will to change your mind, and you have. So for whatever reason, though, when we feel all these feelings towards someone, it's like our logic goes out the window to even recognize that people are people, right? So there's a repetitive pattern here. There's something that's on repeat. We're constantly attracting the same type of person. We're constantly maybe putting our trust into the wrong people, even though we know better. We're constantly dismissing the red flags. We're constantly overgiving. We're constantly doing this, doing that. I could keep going on. At some point, we've got to figure out and get to the heart of the matter why we're doing this. Why are we doing this, right? So at any time in your life, even in this moment, you can choose to make that shift, that you're going to no longer do this anymore. You're no longer going to make yourself available to that person. You're no longer going to overgive. You're no longer going to play it small. You're no longer going to just accept crap and crumbs. You can make this choice right now, in this second. If you want to, you can. It's about you being aware of where your heart is. And if your heart truly wants to give with zero expectation and truly just wants to be a beacon of light for others, and you can flow in that energy and you don't get caught up in your own your own wants and desires and traumas, that may exist too. So go with what your heart is telling you. But deep down, we always know when our heart is telling us that something just isn't right. So pay attention to that. So how are we expanding? How are we growing during this new moon? We're more aware of our feelings. That's why all that water energy was here. We're more aware of how we feel, and we're paying attention to that, because if we don't feel good and something feels off, we're paying attention to that, and we're not blaming other people for it. Even though, yes, you might be dealing with somebody who's a total jerk, and so it's just like, yeah, this person's really hurtful and they don't make me feel good. That's not necessarily you. But sometimes, let's just say you're in a situation and no one's really doing anything, but you just feel hurt. That's something going on with you. There's something going on within to where you don't feel loved, you don't feel accepted, you don't feel worthy. Something's going on within, and this is an opportunity for us to start to get to the heart of the matter so we can make these shifts. So we are operating with a full, healthy cup so we can invite others into our lives in a healthy way. I love that energy. All right, what else? We have peacock copper, beautiful stone. Okay, so this says, I confidently show my true colors to others. I am fabulous. This is the sun's energy. This is the confident energy here. Look at that yellow. Improve optimistic outlook on life. Increase happiness. Feel confident and comfortable. Embrace ability to be in the spotlight. So that was that sun's energy. The solar eclipse we can use by shifting into our masculine side. But remember, it's that feminine energy that's still there. That Venus energy is still with us. We're doing it from a loving place, right? But we're able to shine. We're able to be more authentic with people with how we feel. We're not afraid that they're going to run away. And if they do, we're just like, you know what? That's obviously not a true connection then. You're obviously not who I thought you were. So that's good. That's good that this is falling apart. People are falling away. That means it's not for my highest good. This just means that this is not in alignment with who I am. So allow things to fall away. Allow people to leave and feel confident that the universe is trying to tell you something. The universe is actually protecting you from whatever's not working out, okay? But this is about you being more confident with who you are. And we have calcroperite. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. This is actually a stone I'm not familiar with at all. I am healthy and strong thanks to physical movement and exercise outdoors. Ooh, okay. Support physical strength training, increase time in sunlight for a healthy body, amplify physical movement to increase good health. I was on the internet the other day, which I was looking up, natural ways to basically, get dopamine. And it was talking about vitamin D. Being outside in the sun is so freaking crucial, right? And also physical exercise. So I feel like if some of you guys are kind of feeling somewhat low vibe or just kind of sad and dreary, this was a good opportunity and a good reminder for you of things that will increase for you. Increase your physical activity, increase the time that you spend outdoors, increase the time that you basically, increase that time that you provide for yourself to do these things, to strengthen your physical body and to just feel really good physically. So we're talking about emotional, mental, and spiritual, physical, all of it. All of it's here. So health in all ways, health in all of these categories. This is all helping us to make improvements in our lives. So this is the energy that's increasing for us. We're becoming more aware of how we feel, how people make us feel, or why we feel the ways that we do. We're more aware that we need to be authentic, and if people can't handle it, then they're not for us. And we also are becoming more aware and increasing this energy of physical exercise or just getting out in the outdoors and really connecting with that vitamin D energy or nature, which can increase dopamine. Very, very important. So that is what's coming with this new moon energy as well. I love it. All right, you guys, so let's go ahead and go into some relationship energy. All right, what does Spirit want us to know about love? What does Spirit want us to know about love during this new moon in Scorpio solar eclipse energy? What do we need to know about love? Romantic love. We have transformation. I really like this because what is Scorpio? It's all about death and transformation. Your relationship with another is about to deepen. So something is going to perhaps shift and change with another person in a romantic way. Wow, we have the stars energy, Aquarius, hope, healing, spiritual guidance, spiritual alignment. Coming into alignment here, a wish fulfilled. So not all is lost, you guys. I know there's a lot of things that come through that talk about letting go. But guess what? When we let go, right, we allow change. We allow transformation. That's where that renewal and that faith, having faith, that whatever we let go of, if it's truly ours, we can't really lose it. So it's having more faith in the universe, but it's also about people coming together and coming into alignment who have healed, right? Who have healed. We have success. So trust all will work out. So there's some kind of successful energy here in relationships and romantic love. There's something to be hopeful for. There's something that's going to work out. We have the Seven of Hearts here. So the Seven of Cups is choices. So there's been some confusion around a love situation. There's been perhaps just, I don't know when something's going to happen. My head's in the clouds. I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm very confused. Well, something is becoming clear, I feel, during this new moon phase. We're kind of eclipsing out any kind of confusion or fantasy, and we're really just looking to have success and to have a deep connection with somebody. So I feel like if that's not someone in your life right now, it's like your relationship with yourself is deepening, which means that you're going to attract that in another person. So I'm getting this also for a lot of you guys as new love. A new person coming in. It's going to knock your frickin' socks off. And this right here to me is going to be more of a longer-term connection here. Right? It's going to be a blessed energy here. It's like a blessing of a person coming into your life. It's some blessed energy. So to me, this is going to be like a soulmate person coming in, somebody that maybe you've known before, somebody who's here to experience life with you in a really nice way. Yeah, to bring you a lot of wisdom. The Ace of Angels, Ace of Swords. Like this is coming in on angels' wings to bring to you this wisdom and this happiness and this blessed, hopeful, restores your faith and love type of connection. So The new moon, I feel, is bringing in new energy for some of you, especially with that ace. That's new. But some of you guys, this could be a person that you've been connected to, and there's some sort of miraculous healing that takes place, and you guys will have a more successful reunion coming back together, especially if there was a break or some sort of confusion surrounding the connection. More truth is going to be spoken. People are just going to basically be more trusting. They're going to maybe perhaps give someone, like a second chance, or they're going to, people have worked on their healing, and that's why they're coming back together. And so people that, want to be healthy in a relationship, usually it starts with yourself. And so if anybody's needed to work on themselves, I feel like there's a healing that's coming about, and there's going to be success that this connection or something is working out now because of this transformation, this transition that you guys have both kind of came through. So that is what we have for romantic love. So why don't we go ahead and go into purpose and mission, right? What is your purpose, mission? Just the success, the things that you do, your spiritual gifts. What does Spirit want us to know about that? Okay, so we have solar plexus chakra, which is all about our relationships. Okay, it's all about the relationship that we have with ourself. It's not really relationships with other people, but it is that confidence, right? It's the confidence that we have within that really mirrors to us how other people perceive us. So to me, this is like a stepping into your power energy, knowing who you are, right? Knowing that you can make changes. It very much solar eclipse, the sun's energy that came up earlier, there's something connected here. Something's coming full circle. We're in our full power. It says that it is safe for you to become powerful and to take charge of your life in positive ways. So this is a positive shift for a lot of you guys. Try not to be afraid of this. You're standing more in your power here. You're eclipsing out some energy that's been jamming up the frequencies in your solar plexus chakra. Something that's been causing you to feel small and weak or less than. You're getting rid of that energy. It's transforming. You've healed it. And because of this, some major shifts are taking place in your life. All right. Let's go ahead and see what else we need to know. So some of you guys are going after a new job, new position. You're going to finally put yourself out there, start that business, take that leap of faith. Or maybe, you're rising some sort of ladder in your existing job. Something. But you're going for it because you have the confidence now. Oh my gosh, look at this. Have confidence in your creations as I'm saying it. Yeah. So something that you guys are creating or wanting to create, like you're taking it to the next level. You're introducing your gifts. You're putting your products or something on the market, or your services, or you're deciding to go for that position, or you are adding to your resume, or you're taking a course or something to be certified to do something so you can do more in your existing position. But whatever this is, it's very positive and it's very uplifting, and it's creating abundance here. You're taking charge. You're in a power position here. It's beautiful. Let's see what else. Infinite abundance. You are fully supported as you devote yourself to your divine life purpose. So this is about doing something that you know you're meant to do. And sometimes that might not match up with your finances. So I did kind of get that early on, which some of you guys might be doing something more that you just enjoy and love, rather than doing something just to survive that you absolutely hate and can't stand. That's sucking the life out of you. And some of you guys might be able to just come together and make that same money and do what you absolutely love to do, or even make more. I mean, it's funny, when I first started here on this channel back in 2017, for the first year, about the first 2 years of my business, I made more money doing this than any of the other jobs that I had. And I was in management positions and things like that, which were really well-paying jobs. Things have obviously shifted since then, but the thing is, I experienced that abundance at one time, and that was really an amazing feeling. And I, was like, wow, I'm in mission, I'm in purpose, I'm doing what I'm meant to do, I'm doing what I've always wanted to do, which is, to be a tarot card reader and to do readings for people and to, share my experiences and create decks and do fun things like that. So it's available to anybody. It really is. It's available to anyone. And sometimes it comes in stages. Sometimes it stays for a little bit, and sometimes it goes away. Some people have their time. Other people, it's, like some people learn because they're smart. They make investments, or they realize that, hey, you know what, this could end at any time. So I'm going to make sure that I do some things that are smart, or that I invest, or that I kind of come up with some other things in addition to what I'm doing. Those are all smart things to do. So I feel like wherever you guys are at right now, it's like the universe has your back to start this project, or to take this next step, or to maybe take that risk when it comes to doing something that you want to create. And then when you get there, it's about learning smart business. It's about learning how to sustain your abundance. It's like people win the lottery, and usually the people that win the lottery, we find out a few years later that they've lost everything. Sometimes too much success, or too much, you know what I mean? Success. Sometimes if you've never had it, it's too much. So to me, this is about learning how to be nice and balanced, and to have that gratitude of the things that are being given to you. And sometimes less is actually more. We actually are a lot happier sometimes with less, because in a way it forces us to not focus on the material aspects. We focus on the inner richness. So sometimes loving what you do is more important than actually making that money that you used to, which is kind of cool too. So I like that. All right, let's see what else we need to know. What else do we need to know? Oh yeah, let me go into this one here. Okay, so we have God as your source. Everything you need is supplied by the infinite source of God, and your faith opens the doorway to receive. In God, there is no lack or limitation. Rather, there is plenty of abundance for all to share. Love this. So to me, this is, of course, just having faith. All right, and I know that sounds so simple, but this is about making sure that you are, you're carving out time for yourself to connect with source, God, higher power, universe, whatever you guys want to call that. I just, source is good, but it's a source of inspiration. It's a source of energy. It's a source of fulfillment, happiness. It's a source of peace. Connect with that daily. And when you're connecting with that daily, there's a lot of shifts that are going to be created. So if you're feeling like giving up, or you're feeling like nothing's ever going to work out, and I do have days like that myself, but when you take the time to connect, and sometimes that's just as small as going out into your backyard and feeling the wind or the sun on your face. Sometimes it's just those subtle things that remind you that actually life could be worse and it's not that bad. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's what we're being told here, is that as long as we're connecting, then we never lose touch or lose sight of how magical the world really is. And that sometimes that magic is working in mysterious ways that we might not understand, but we just don't feel so, empty. But if we don't have that relationship with our creator or the universe, then we're going to really feel like, what's the point of anything? And we're just going to want to give up. So our faith is very important on this journey, is what I'm getting here. And whatever faith that means to you guys, strengthen that, connect with that daily to keep yourself balanced. That's a beautiful message. All right, let's go ahead and get some tarot cards here. How's Spirit showing up for us? Okay, so we do have the Three of Swords here. Sorrow, forgiveness, and healing. So some of you guys, look at that. Look at those two angels that are just have their hands on that woman who is crying. She's obviously very sad. The Three of Swords can indicate betrayal, backstab, heartbreak, all of it. And this is, of course, about, forgiving other people, but forgiving yourself. And it sounds so cliche, or it sounds so easy when I say it like that. It's almost like I make myself sick when I say, just forgive other people, forgive yourself. It sounds like when you're not ready to do it, you don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear it. But when you start realizing that people are people make mistakes, and it doesn't mean that we have to let those people back into our lives. I think a lot of people mistake or misunderstand forgiveness. Forgiveness does not include you have to call this person and tell them you forgive them. If you really forgive someone, then you don't need to prove anything. You don't need to tell anybody shit. Just forgive somebody and move on. But the healing that comes from forgiving them and forgiving yourself and not carrying around that revenge and bitterness, that's where the true healing is. That's what it's for. You're doing it for yourself. You're not really necessarily doing it for them, but you are kind of getting to this revelation, or coming to this revelation, that sometimes people just cannot be any different. And it really isn't personal. It never really is. What people do to you isn't necessarily personal. It has more to do with them and their own darkness and their own ugliness than it is about you. So sometimes just that small way of looking at the situation can be helpful. And I do from time to time. I know I'm very enigmatic when I talk about the situation, and maybe once it's all said and done, maybe I'll say something about it. But, this legal thing, and I'm not going through it personally, but, somebody close to me is, and it affects me. But I do think about this person, and I've even had dreams that me and this person are actually friends. And obviously that's never been the case in reality, ever. But my soul longs to just be cool. My soul longs to just have peace with this person, but they are not capable of it, at least to my understanding. And there's nothing I can do. There's absolutely nothing I can do. It's just like a situation in my life that I can't change. And there's, obviously been effort there to try several times, but getting burned, even trying to do that, you just kind of get to a point where you're like, this person, I can't work with this individual. Some people are just downright dysfunctional, toxic, evil, whatever. And that's what this is. But I've gone through those feelings of trying to see things from this person's point of view, seeing how they might have become who they are today. Maybe how their childhood affected them. Maybe, just the psychology behind it. And when I think about this person in this way, I don't feel so pissed, because in a way, I kind of feel sorry for them. I do. I feel sorry for them. But then they'll do something crazy and evil, and then I'm back to hating them again. So it's like a roller coaster that I'm on. It's a roller coaster that's very difficult, when you're dealing with very hurtful people. But I'm just sharing that with you guys because I'm sure that there are some of you guys that have situations and people in your life where it's just downright, you want it to be over. You just want that suffering to end. But sometimes, you guys, it's not going to be just this clear-cut situation of justice being served, and we're no longer going to feel this energy or this person just leaving our lives. Sometimes people, I haven't seen certain people in a certain amount of years and their energy's still with me. So just because someone's not in your life anymore doesn't mean you're not going to still feel that energy or have it or have it in your field. Something's happening, I feel, until maybe we learn some kind of lesson here. So we have the Seven of Earth, Seven of Pentacles, which is kind of an interesting card. Seven of Pentacles means we're building something. We've been working on a project, and we keep going, or we kind of take a step back and say, how can I improve this? Or how can I go about this situation differently? How can I look at the situation differently? How can I just do things slightly different that might provide a different result? So I feel like some of you guys need to step back from a crappy situation and just kind of examine it from a bigger perspective And maybe by doing that, that will be a little bit more helpful for you when it comes to your healing and forgiving yourself and even this person in this situation, right? Damn, man, Spirit's laying on thick. 7 of Swords, whew, telling you. That 7 of Swords it's a harsh energy. It's a situation where somebody may have lied, tried to get away with something, did something behind your back, so you feel like a victim. And you are, because you didn't see this coming. Maybe some of you guys kind of did, but maybe some of you guys just did not see this coming at all. So it makes it just even that much more unjust, because you weren't aware. Somebody was deliberately lying to you. Somebody was deliberately telling you something that wasn't true. How are you supposed to know? How are you supposed to defend yourself in that kind of situation? It's almost impossible. You can't. Now, can you defend yourself moving forward by telling this person, you're not going to ever do this to me again? Yeah. Then it's on you moving forward, now that you know. You know what I mean? But again, this is not the blame game. This is about becoming aware of people and aware that there are certain people that you just unfortunately are not going to be able to connect with and are not going to be able to have in your life because they are not capable of it. And it's funny because Spirit's using my situation to really drive through that point. We may want to be love and light. We may want to forgive other people. We may want to have certain people in our lives, but there's an amount of dysfunction that cannot be worked with with some people. You just can't work with it. They just keep destroying it. They keep screwing you over. They keep lying to you. They haven't healed their crap. So it's just going to be torturous situations every single time you let this person back into your life. At some point, it just needs to be cut off and ended. And like in my situation, that can't really be the case because there's a legal tie there, unfortunately, still. But until that's over, it's like, got to learn how to figure out how to deal with this person and keep them at an arm's distance and put up major boundaries to where they can't get in to screw you over again and again and again and again and again. So I feel at the very end here, Spirit's trying to tell us something, which is if something... Just because you want to see the good in someone doesn't mean that will be your reality, your experience with them. You can see people in love and light energy all day long, but it's not going to change a damn thing. The only thing that's going to change people is themselves. And you can wish them well and pray for them all day long. But to continue to go into this heartbreak or sadness or situation, Spirit's telling you got to take a step back and look at it for what it really, really is and examine, do you really want to invest any more in this or do you want to cut away and carry on? So I feel like the Scorpio's energy, which is like coming to, like looking at the situation, death is something really over. It is time for us to cut something away and to be done here. So let's go ahead and just get some final messages here from Spirit. Let's get some closing messages. And I wanted to make this reading like really, happy and peppy and full of just, focusing on all this positive stuff. But it is the new moon in Scorpio. It's kind of impossible not to look at some of the shadow with Scorpio. So just had to go into some of that. We have the Emperor's energy, Aries energy. You want to talk about the sun? You want to talk about confidence? That's the Emperor. The Emperor is sitting in their freaking power. They know who they are. Okay, they do. They know who they are. They're in control. It's not a false sense of control. It means you're in your power. And when you're in your power and you know who you are, then it doesn't really matter what people are doing outside of you. It's not rocking you. It's not shaking you. It's not really affecting you. Now, of course, we're only human, so we're not like hard as stone where we're not going to feel anything when crap happens. But we're just not going to ultimately let it or allow it to ruin our lives, to take us off track with what we're trying to build. Right? We're not going to allow it to let us call ourselves out of work for a week because we just can't cope. So we're becoming stronger and more grounded in who we are, and we're just basically accepting that nothing can really rock us unless we allow it to. Now, I feel also too that this has something to do with your guys' career or a position that you're taking in your purpose or your mission or something that you want to do for a living. You're stepping into independence. You're stepping into this leadership role. you're taking matters into your own hands. You're making things happen. You're really utilizing your logic and your mind to create something. Oh yeah, the Queen of Swords? Hell yeah. The Queen of Swords is Libra's energy. So very balanced. So that's the message that keeps coming through. It's this very strong, domineering energy, but there's always this influence of the feminine coming in. We're doing it we're doing it in the name of what we love to do, or we're doing it in the name of this is what's right for me. We're not doing it in an abrupt way. We're doing it and people recognize it and they feel our power. They sense it because we're just being authentic to who we truly are. So there is something about utilizing our minds and being very business oriented and looking at situations from a business approach. And I think that's one of the reasons why Spirit was showing me some of the mistakes that I made when I came into this industry and I made a bunch of money and stuff, and I just didn't utilize this side of my brain, which said at some point things could change, economy or just whatever. So you've got to make sure that you're smart with your stuff. You got to make sure that what you're doing is worth your time, that the amount of time that you expend doing something that you're not going to burn yourself out, because that's another thing, unfortunately, when you're an independent creator or you're working for yourself, is burnout, where you do have to still have a schedule for yourself, because if you don't, you're going to burn out. So we still do need to have our wits about us when we go into this new position or we take on this new opportunity or this creative endeavor. And so if you're going to be adding more responsibility to your plate, so let's just say you got a promotion at work, that doesn't mean that you're going to be a slave now to your work. you got to make sure that you give yourself an opportunity to live and to take care of yourself too. Anyway, the world, I love it. The world is Saturn's energy. The world is karma. The world is the end of burdens, the end of karmic cycles. This is new opportunity, new doors, successful completion of an old cycle. Why? So we're going to go into a new cycle. So I love that the reading is ending like this, because it's telling me here that you guys are entering into a new phase in your lives. You truly are cutting off something old that's just not working, or an old version of yourself, and rebirthing into a new version of you. And you're stepping more into a power position, and you're communicating, and you're making things happen, and you're taking that sword and you're creating things. You're carving out your life just the way that you want to create, or the way that you want to create it. So lots of positive things happening in all different areas of our lives. So that is what I have for you guys this week when it comes to the new moon in Scorpio solar eclipse energy. Very powerful, very confident, just very, very powerful. That's just the words that I have. It's very powerful, but it's powerful in a good way that's going to create changes to bring in fresh new energies for happiness and just feeling accomplished and feeling like you're doing what you love to do. And that's important. So anyways, you guys, that's what I have for you. I will catch you guys next time in the next reading. If you guys want anything more on like love and connections, definitely head over to my Mystic Moon channel, where I pretty much just only focus on connections, whether they're new, people that are together or in separation or whatever. If you guys are looking for more information in that area, definitely head over there. All right, you guys, thanks so much. Take care. Bye-bye.